Write that on top. The word is reciprocal, and it's only going to be a definition we're going to use today. A reciprocal is simply a fraction flipped over. A fraction flipped over, which means this. If you have 5/8, the reciprocal of 5/8 is, you just flip those numbers around, it is 8/5.
Whoa.
The reciprocal of 1/2 is those two numbers flipped around, 2/1. The reciprocal of 2/3 is 3/2. Doesn't seem like reciprocals are too tough, correct? However, we do have to think just a little bit more about them because the book throws some strange things on them. If you were to multiply any, you know what I forgot to do? What would be the reciprocal of 7? What would be the reciprocal of 7? Eddie?
1/7?
Correct, because you would make it a fraction, put a 1 under it, you'd flip it over, and it would be 1/7. Now, with that, I forgot to throw that in there. If you multiply a number and its reciprocal together, if you multiply a number and its reciprocal together, you get, fill in the blank there, what do you suppose? Colin?
1.
You do. You get 1. Why? Because, well, if I multiply 8/5 times 5/8, I end up with 40/40, and guess what 40/40 is? 1. If I multiply 2/1 times 1/2, I get 2/2, which is 1. If I multiply 2/3 times 3/2, I get 6/6, which is 1. Now, with that handy-dandy little fact in mind, the book will give you a problem that looks something like this. They will go 3/5 times what number is 1? To which you will say, well, I know that when I multiply something times something, I always get 1. What fraction do you suppose, or what do you suppose would go there? Maggie? No, that would be adding or multiplying. See, look at when you multiply a number times something. Jordan?
5/3.
Right, this would be 5/3. The fraction flipped over. Just like this. How about this? 7 times what number is 1? Which doesn't make a lot of sense unless you think about it this way. Sam?
1/7.
Right, because you make this a fraction, you say, oh, I flipped that over. 7 times 1/7 equals 1. And ta-da. You are now slightly more intelligent than you were back in the day. Now, another blank piece of paper. On top of this piece, write least common multiple. Least common multiple. Now, rather than write that out, we sometimes abbreviate this as LCM, which are actually all Roman numerals. I'm sure it makes it. Least common multiple. And the basic gist of least common multiple is simply the the smallest. Why is this not doing this? Multiple. I think I might start all over again. The smallest multiple to parenthesis or more numbers shared. Now I have to caution you with this, people. Too many times I see people get least common multiple mixed up with, greatest common factor. Notice that common factor is the biggest number and least common multiple is the smallest number. For example, find the least common multiple of 6 and 8. Please don't tell me it's 2, because it is not 2. That's the greatest common factor. In order to find this, what you need to do is write down some multiples of each until you find the smallest one that they both share. For example, multiple of 6's are 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. You can kind of stop there. Let's try 8, 16, and when you get to one that they share, which is 24, you found its smallest, the least common of its multiple. I probably won't ask you the greatest common multiple. Anybody know why? Tyler?
Because it can go on like forever.
It goes on forever, and you can never give me the greatest common multiple. Because whatever number you would give me, I could just multiply by 24, and it would be another common multiple bigger than the one that you gave. Kelly.
Wouldn't the least common, like the least, wouldn't it be like a 1?
Again, you're thinking factors.
I don't know.
These aren't factors, these are multiples. These are counting by numbers, not taking. Whereas the greatest common factor of 6 and 8, you have to write down all the factors of 6 and 8. And the greatest one they share would be 2. The least common factor of anything is always going to be
1.
1. All right. Let's try another one. How about this one? And now that things are getting really exciting. Least common multiple of 5 and 10. Well, multiples of 5 are 5, 10, 15. Multiples of 10 are 10, 20, 30. What's the smallest one they both have? 10. What about 7 and 8? By the way, they always have a common multiple. You can always get a common multiple by multiplying them together. 56 would be a common multiple. Actually, 56 I think is the smallest one they have. 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 48, 55. What did I do? No, 7, 42, 49, 56, 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56. Shaboom, shabam, shabam. I have to go back to this one too because I did forget to tell you this one too. Go back to reciprocals just for a second. You also use reciprocals when they ask you this question. How many 7/8 are in 1? Why is that asking you the same question? Because that's just asking you, if you have 7/8, how many of them would it take to equal 1? They're asking you the same question as this is. How many 7/8 does it make? Now we could think about in terms of money. Here's a good way to think about it. Let's say you've got a quarter. A quarter is what fraction of a dollar? A fourth. So if I asked you how many 1/4 would it take to make a dollar, you already know the answer, but to do it mathematically, you flip this over, and it is 4/1. 4 of them take to make a dollar. In this case, how many 7/8 does it take to make 1? Yeah, 8/7, which is kind of tough to do, but that's actually what it is. So, good for you.